Hello everybody, what is up? Raf here. I had the honor of interviewing Berj Fazlian, amazing drummer composer. I tried to copy one of his grooves, dissected it a little bit, got in touch with him, and he was down to do an interview. So if you are interested in hearing more about Berj Fazlian, his approach to grooves, rhythms, if you're interested in Zach Grooves, Luke Titus, the MK3 machine, Steve Gadd on steroids, and so on, you are going to enjoy it. You're the first
Yeah,
guest in my series, whatever it
it's
is
an
going to
honor,
be.
man. It's an
But
honor, really. Thank you.
for sure, because I found that, I found you on social media, and all these grooves are so killer, and it's
Thank
also like
you.
it's not in a way that I play it all, but I'm always super intrigued by it. I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? Like, what the hell? And I'm like, because I love avant-garde jazz and I love experimental stuff, and I'll be into brutal death metal and
Yeah.
technical stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm all about playing fast and and working on phrasing and stuff like that. And these grooves are kind of also in that vein, in their own distinct way. So maybe I should I don't know, like how did you get in that kind of drumming style, or do I don't know. Yeah, or how
Like
do you
this one.
start playing the drums, and how did that evolve?
Yeah. Okay, I'll try to make it. I'll try to keep it as short as possible because the
Hmm.
story is like long, but I'm gonna keep it short.
Okay. That'd
So
be
when
that'd be
I
fine too, though.
was
Like,
okay, sure. I'll just
yeah.
like say the story. Okay. When I was like 6 or 7 years old, here's the thing. My father is a conductor. He was a
Hmm.
conductor of the Lebanese Philharmonic Orchestra, and my grandfather was a renowned theater director, actor. Um, yeah, he was a director and an actor. So I was
Nice.
luckily at such a young age. I was in an environment full of art and just
Hmm.
music and culture. So music was always around when I was like one, two, three, until now, obviously. So when I was young, I always used to go to my dad's concerts, his orchestra stuff. So I
Hmm.
always used to see him conduct, and that's where I realized, like, wow, like music is
Amazing.
something. I don't know. It's incredible. It's
Yeah, yeah.
in yeah. It's above our like our knowledge.
Totally, yeah.
We don't understand it. But
Exactly, yeah.
so my sister Tia, she used to play the piano. So when I was 6, she's 3 years older than me. So she used to play the piano, and I remember I saw her play the piano once, and I was like, oh, I actually want to play the piano. So my dad saw that, and obviously he was like, okay, let's put him to piano lessons. I did one
Hmm.
lesson. I hated it. I hated it. I
That's funny,
hated
yeah.
it. I don't know why. I
Hmm.
hated it. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't click with me. And I always liked doing like this, like drumming. I always
Hmm.
liked doing it. I don't
Awesome.
remember, but my mom always used to say, you used to take like pans and spatulas and this and that, and it's always like beat on stuff,
Nice. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
always liked drums, and so I forcefully did piano for a good 6 years until I was
Oh
12.
yeah, that's a long stretch. Yeah, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, I didn't learn a single thing. I can no.
Okay.
I used to
Yeah.
beg my mom not to go and practice.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it was so bad.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
So then I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I'm sorry, I just really don't want to do piano. I want to play drums. And he was like, Are you sure? He was like, You always want to be a musician. If you want to be a musician, you have to do piano and drums. Obviously, at that time, I didn't
Hmm.
understand it. Now, 10
Yeah,
years
yeah.
later, of course, I'm like, Oh yeah, like he
Right.
was definitely right, obviously. Uh, so I forgot about piano.
Hmm.
I started playing drums. I started playing drums when I was 12. I was at the school for a good 4 or 5 months back in Beirut. And honestly, after that, my dad was like, okay, let's put you somewhere a bit, where you can, because it was kind of like it was easy. I kind of got everything pretty quick. I was fast,
Nice.
apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember anything
Cool.
from it, but I was fast.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all I used to listen to was rock. Like I'm a rock drummer. I play
Nice.
Zeppelin, Police,
Cool.
Rush. That's how I was like. That's what I listened to when I was young. So
Yeah.
I want to be a rock drummer. And then I was with my professor. Then I was with my professor. His name was Christopher Michael. He's an incredible jazz drummer. I was with him from 13 until 17. So I studied with him for
Okay.
4 years, and he taught me everything. All the
Yeah.
fundamentals, all the small details that matter. He
Mm-hmm.
taught me all of
Yeah.
these things. But the hip hop stuff, I always liked hip hop. Like I always liked hip hop.
Yeah.
But it was during COVID. It was during COVID when I was with my friends and we were talking, and they were talking about this guy called like Jay Dilla. I
Yeah.
don't know who, I mean, I have his hat right here, but I mean,
Nice.
I they keep on saying who's like Jay Dilla, Jay Dilla, Jay Dilla. I'm like, I don't know who this Jay Dilla guy is, but I'll check him out. I remember I listened to
Yeah.
him and I hated his album. Like I just was like, what the hell is this sampling and stuff?
Okay.
What
Okay.
is this? And then one night I was like, let me just give it another shot, and I loved it. I don't know what, it just resonated with me somehow. So I started
Yeah.
listening to so much underground hip hop, a lot, a lot. And then I started
Nice.
realizing what this Dilla beat thing is, like the whole drag.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so cool. And I see
Yeah.
sometimes on Instagram that like drummers are playing this, and I didn't know what it's called until I knew it was like a Dilla beat, delayed beat. And then a year later, after COVID started, I caught COVID. So I was home for 2 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
I was on the phone with my friend again, with one of my friends, and something came up on my YouTube. It was rhythm roulette. I don't know if you've heard of rhythm roulette.
No, I have no idea what that
Basically,
is.
it's like it's a series where producers go to a record store, they're blindfolded, and they pick
Mm-hmm.
three random records. They take them, they get them back to the studio, and they make a beat out of the record, and it's awesome.
Cool.
And that was when I started really getting into it, because when I watched that video, I was like, oh my God, I want to start doing this. So I
Nice.
told my
Yeah.
dad that I want a sampler, I want a beat machine, and dad, whatever he thinks, is gonna make me happy, he'll do it. I love him. He really
Yeah. Yeah.
he
That
wants the
is
best for me.
cool.
So he bought the like a machine MK3. I remember I got
Wow.
it.
That's how you
I
started. Wow. That's wild.
And that was 2021. That
Yeah.
was March of 2021. So
Yeah.
got that, and I remember that same day I was just sampling,
Mm-hmm.
making beats. A couple of months later, at the end of summer, I got this really awesome opportunity to go to Dubai for
Okay.
8 months. It was to, I don't know if you know, the expo that happened in Dubai.
I'm not
So there
familiar
was
with
like this
that. No.
big expo. There was this big expo that happened. It happens, I think, like once every 4 years or something. And this time it was in Dubai. And it's
Mm-hmm.
basically this event that is held for a good 7, 8 months, where countries show off their future plans. Their pavilions and this and that. It was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. It's like Global Village basically. So
Okay. Got it.
in that expo, I was the drummer for the main band, because there was an entertainment place as
Sick.
well. So I
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
drummer for the main band, and a lot of people came. Like Jacob Collier was there, Coldplay came,
Yeah.
a lot of guests, and
Yeah.
it was there where this shit started. There was this artist
Mm-hmm.
called Kiefer.
Okay.
He was playing right after us. So my bandmate was like, yo, because my bandmates knew I liked hip hop. They were like, yo, you should stay for Kiefer. And I was like, okay, I'll stay. And then I saw the drummer of Kiefer. His name was Luke Titus. I don't know if you're
Okay.
familiar with Luke Titus. He's one of my biggest inspirations, and
Okay. Okay.
he was playing exactly the way I wanted to play.
Yeah.
All this crazy linear ride, crazy fast grooves. I was like, wow, I just saw it in front of my eyes for the first time. I was like, okay, this is the shit I want to do. Like,
Yeah. So by
this
now,
is like
right, you were only doing the sample machine so far, or
doing the sample machine stuff, and I was
yeah.
drumming, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But I was even more focused on making beats at that time,
Right. Right.
because I
Okay.
didn't know
And
how
then
to
you
go
saw him
forward.
live. Yeah.
Then I saw him live, and I just felt incredibly inspired.
I bet. Yeah.
I saw
Wow.
him play, and then I think it was like the week after, I just texted him. I was like, "Yo, can I please book a lesson with you? Like, I need something. I
Yeah.
don't know." And he showed me
Yeah.
like 2, 3 grooves, and I kind of understood what the thought process was.
Mm-hmm.
And then by time, I started listening to more of that music, that free modern hip hop, jazz,
Yeah.
modern jazz. It's very
Right.
free and so much space. I started
Yeah.
listening to that more and more and more. Then I took a lesson. Then
Mm-hmm.
Zach Grooves was popping off.
Oh, right. Yeah. I know him from YouTube, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Like.
So Zach
Okay.
and Luke Titus
Mm-hmm.
are one of my biggest inspirations. Luckily, Zach is one of my really good friends now.
Oh, nice.
So
Cool.
I took a lesson with him a year after the expo. I remember a year after it ended, I took a lesson with Zach, and he said one thing that if someone would ask me what's one thing that stuck with you, that you could
Mm-hmm.
keep it with you forever. he said this one thing that really changed my life. And he said, spend time with your instrument.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean practice. Like that doesn't mean just mean sit down and practice on your drums. It means enjoy your drum set. It's like your
Yeah.
girlfriend. Take care of it. Play with your drum set, experiment, do
Yeah.
the whatever.
Awesome.
Build a connection with your drum set. So I
Yeah.
started doing that, and then I saw the growth of
Yeah.
how
That's so
just let
amazing.
go, just let go and just play.
Yeah.
So Zach showed me a couple of things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. The spending
then
time one is really profound. I feel like sometimes even when I'm not feeling it and I'm just gonna go there and sit on my throne, like sometimes something will happen and I'm like, damn, I'm
exactly,
so glad I did this. It's just like,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's also
100%.
one of the
That's exactly what he taught me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then later that year, so now we're like in 2023. Yeah, we're in
Mm-hmm.
2023.
Yeah.
I came to Berkeley,
Yeah.
and when I went to Berkeley, Zach released this book. It was called 30 Dirty Grooves.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
And
it. Should check it out.
it's this book that
Mm-hmm.
just unlocked everything. And what I mean by
Okay.
unlocked, it unlocked my left foot
Okay.
specifically. Because when
Yeah.
you see Zach play, he plays all these super fast grooves, and his left foot is always the Steve Gadd
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Steve Gadd on
Yeah. Yeah.
on on
Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember I didn't when that book came out, I immediately bought it and I didn't go to class. My parents shouldn't know about this, but they're about to find out. But I didn't go to class for a good 2 weeks because when you're in Berkeley, there are so many musicians and drummers that want to just make it. So you
Yeah.
always feel like there's someone in the back of your head that's trying to get better than you.
Yeah.
Now, to me, it's not much of a competition, but you have so many drummers there, and I don't want to be one of the just a drummer because
Totally.
there's
Yeah.
so
I hear
many
you.
like that.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let me just not go to class for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I promise I'm not making this up. I spent every day 7 hours shedding that
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
And after that, I understood how these grooves are working, how they're functioning, the spaces and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then I started practicing more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Like I'm understanding how this shit is
Totally.
working.
Nice.
And now a year later, I'm here.
Amazing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to be playing quite some gigs too, right? In that vein like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. That is really cool.
Yeah, I have my
See the clips
quartet. I
all
have my
over.
quartet. Yeah, I have
Nice.
my quartet because
Mm-hmm.
like I said, like I make beats.
Yeah.
So we take those beats with my quartet and we just bring them to like live. And honestly, like my quartet, I
Yeah.
love them so much. It's Joey
Yeah.
Akampora on the bass, Noah Allen on the trumpet, and Devin Tai on
Mm-hmm.
the keys. Either the three of them
Yeah.
are incredible, and honestly, I couldn't
Sick.
do it
Yeah.
without them. So they took everything and just made it better.
Amazing.
So
So for that band, right? You make the beats on the sampler and
mhm.
then you practice them, or how does that work?
Yeah, basically what happens is like I make the
Yeah.
beats,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sampling this and that, whatever, put the drums
Yeah.
in, and then I just send the beat to the band to my bandmates.
Yeah.
Most of the time what happens is Joey, just the bass player, who's like super close friend, he just comes over and
Yeah.
is like, okay, let me write the chart for you.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
sit down, and because he's a
Mm-hmm.
genius, so like he kind of understands how these things work, and he has
Yeah.
crazy perfect pitch, so everything's like
Sick.
writes
Yeah.
it
You
down.
can just do it.
Yeah, so he writes all the charts down, and this is like just the beat, like the
Mm-hmm.
like the beat that I have, the sample, melody,
Yeah.
bass, whatever. The band gets it, and
Yeah.
then after we do that, the four of us are just like, okay, what do we do next? And then we just
Yeah.
feed off each other's,
Nice. I love
suggestions,
that.
and
I
then
love that.
that's what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why it feels like a real band, right? It's like when I got tired of functioning in a really in a jazz setting or in a even some avant-garde jazz setting, it's like either you're an individual, like, and it's almost about a solo career,
Yeah.
or you're a sideman. It's one of the
Yeah.
two.
I
And
completely
then
agree.
and I always had my love for metal and death metal, and then I started going to shows again, in New York, and I was like, damn, this scene is so cool. Like people show up, they're wild, and they're bands. I mean, there is competition because the music is technical, and of course people want to get gigs, but it's more like there's no envy on drummers or something
No.
because they're like, I'm in a band, bro. I'm I'm just making music with my
Exactly.
friends, and you're in a band, and it's not like. And it seems like you're also liking
100%.
that approach of like, I
Yeah.
have this band, and I mean, it seems like the way you describe that you work kind of tells me that that's what you
That's
want to
exactly
feel
it.
and do. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's good. I love that.
Yeah, like it's cool that you say that because the quartet is it's actually not like I mean it's a drum based because it's
Hmm.
like okay it's under my name but
Yeah,
everyone has a very important role. Everyone has so like everyone
yeah,
is expressing themselves. It's not like everyone is just leaving space so I do my thing. No, it's like a
right,
literal
right.
band.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's like a
love
literal
that.
band. So
Do you have recordings yet? Are you planning on
yeah,
recording,
yeah,
making new stuff?
when we had a show in December, we opened
Hmm.
up for Zach Grooves' band for the first time. It
Nice.
was at the Sinclair. It's a really awesome venue in Boston.
Okay.
So we recorded it,
Yeah.
multi-track everything, and it's on Spotify. So
Nice. Your groove came along, and I was like, "What the hell?" I can,
yeah, man,
and
I'm
then
gonna
I
be
was
honest.
like,
Like you played it really like you got it so quick. I think it was
I
like 2 weeks
mean,
after I uploaded it. I was like,
yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I was like, damn, how is he doing this? Like, and it's so nuanced, and I'm like trying to figure it out on the hi hat, and then I was like, I saw how you were like doing that double on the hi hat, where you go in a little bit, and then I was, oh, let me try that out, let me try that out, and then just trying to get it down, but not, but then
man.
I mean, doing that live must be even way more next level, Like right now, I was just like transcribing it, I was learning it. It's similar as death metal in the sense that it's fast and very articulate. So when that's
Yeah,
not going on, like yeah, there's no hiding behind that, right? It's like, oh, it's
yeah.
like, is that what it feels like for you as well, or like
Yeah,
you really have to
a
be,
hundred
you got to be
percent, a
on?
hundred
Yeah, yeah,
percent.
yeah,
Like, I think it's so funny. Every time I'm in the practice room, I come up with with crazy ideas, and I
yeah,
manage to practice them. But then when I play them live, I have
yeah,
no
yeah,
idea how to
yeah,
play them. I completely forget them.
yeah.
So that's what happens a lot.
And then it's still the same process, right? Because I'm intrigued also by the sampling aspect of it. So that you would just sample things you're inspired by, and then create that groove, and then learn it.
Yeah,
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 yeah. So
exactly,
that
exactly,
tells me,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So that means then maybe you should tell me, but then I mean you kind of start with listening, feeling it out.
Yeah,
I think that's an amazing approach too.
100%. Especially when I'm making these beats, when you're sampling, it's I'm listening to so much. I'm listening to so much music that I've never heard of.
Yeah,
It's almost like a class by itself, where you spend an hour almost every day listening to a
exactly. Yeah,
record or records that you've never
yeah,
heard of, and pick up small things that you think you can make it your own.
yeah,
It's
yeah. That's
being
amazing.
inspired by things, just trying to be inspired every day because that's how I'm pushing through. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's always listening and then
Yeah,
it's always feeling. It's
yeah,
like always, it's first like I listen and then I'm like, okay, let me internalize it. Let me see how I can make it my own. I try to beatbox it
yeah.
a lot because if I sing
Nice.
it, I know I can play it. And then when
Yeah,
I sing it, I'm
amazing.
like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, let me play this and see how I can, move it around
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah, that's something that has been intriguing me as well. It's more of like, because I never, for instance, right, if you think about an academic setting where it's like, oh, we have ear training and then we have rhythm or whatever, like, let me go there for a sec. But there's never like rhythm ear training. You know what I mean? It's like, if you listen to these beats, like, and it's
Mm,
really like you're training your ear as well, right? It's like to
yeah.
get that feel going. Because like, what's the difference? It's like it's micro stuff, kind of, right? It's like, what's this plan? How
Very,
wide is it?
very.
Like, so that's
Super. I'm so happy
yeah,
you said
yeah,
that. I'm so happy you said that. And that's
yeah,
something like, for example, in my ear training at Berkeley, we have rhythm, melody, and harmonic. So rhythm is like, we ta 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 ta, melody, we sing melodies, and harmony, we
hmm,
analyze chords and we write chords
yeah,
down. But the
yeah,
thing about here's the funny thing, like in my ear training, we don't really get into 30-second notes. The max we get into is like the 16th note and the 16th note triplets, and that's the
yeah,
max we go. And a lot of, like the metric modulation stuff, which is
yeah,
cool. But yeah, like I just wish we could like the school would get more into like 30-second note stuff. But I could see how that wouldn't help
yeah.
a lot of people. But I'm a drummer, so
Hmm.
obviously it would help me so much.
Totally, yeah, yeah, totally.
So
Yeah, I don't know. In a way, I think it would help everyone, right? Just like
yeah,
phrasing in general.
because you start
But that,
understanding the beats more. Or
yeah.
if someone gives you a beat, you understand, you know how to see it and how to read it.
But some drummers, there is an amazing drummer. He's in Defeated Sanity. His name is Lilla Gruber, and he plays like these crazy blast beats with hi-hat openings and closings. And he would do it. I'm like,
What?
like yeah, he's just like five groupings, seven groupings, while he's playing a blast beat with one foot. and then
That's
he's using the.
crazy.
It is wild. It is wild. Yeah, it is
That's
wild. It's like
insane.
I'm learning a lot from you now and how you got to making the beats and everything. But in a way, like I believe that it all connects in a way, like it all connects.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's
The
really
left
amazing.
foot stuff, the left foot
Hmm.
stuff like came like I said, like when Zach released his book, because in that book you had a lot there's a lot of, grooves where your kick is
Yeah,
replaced.
yeah,
So spending a lot of time on that and building confidence in my left foot to, to the point where I can close
yeah,
my eyes and, when I'm playing live, I can utilize it all the time.
yeah.
Like that honestly helped. For that groove, for example, like the groove where you transcribed it,
Hmm.
that groove, it's actually so funny. A lot of people don't know it, but that I've posted that same groove, I think a month and a half before it, but maybe it was a
But
bit
okay, okay.
slower. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna
Yeah, I'm
send
curious
it to
because
you.
I probably didn't see it.
I can even tell you the inspiration behind the groove because it
Okay.
wasn't like I just, I woke up one day and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
it wasn't like
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
magic
yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
But that groove came along. I remember so well. I was watching a Luke Titus video. It was the,
Hmm.
the drummer that I was telling you about. And
Yeah.
there was this thing he started with it was like that triple paradiddle thing, tick tick tick, da, da, da,
Hmm.
and he opened the hi
Yeah.
hat. And then I was trying to transcribe the groove, and I couldn't understand anything that was happening. So I only got the first part, which was the triple paradiddle.
Hmm.
After that, I remember I took the triple paradiddle, da, 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 and I was like, what can I do here? And I first
Nice.
played everything with my right foot, so all the left foot stuff was
Hmm.
non-existent. It was all with
Okay.
my kicks. It was all kicks
Yeah.
in between. And then I started writing everything down. Like, okay, here's my first, because I think I personally think what's really great and what everyone should do is write your grooves down, because if you visualize it, the chances, you have more chances to be more creative because you can see everything in front of you
Yeah.
instead of always remembering, okay, I
Right.
did this here, whatever. But I always write
Yeah.
them down. So I'm
Yeah.
writing them down. I visualize that I saw, okay, this is the first block is a triple paradiddle, the second measure is this, the third and the fourth. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, let me try to spice it up a bit. So I just replaced two. It's like a puzzle. It's like a literal puzzle. That's how
Nice.
grooves, my grooves at least are. They're always
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
puzzles. I start with something
Yeah.
very simple, and then I slowly start adding and subtracting and getting
Yeah.
this and putting it. It's like a puzzle. And
Love
then
it.
that
Love
came
it.
along. But
Yeah.
getting to that speed, it's so funny. It was in Berkeley, in that room, you only have until 11 p.m. to stay in those practice rooms, unfortunately. And I
Okay.
hate it. I wish they
Yeah.
were 24/7. But
Yeah.
you have, it's like from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on weekdays. On weekends, it's like, unfortunately, it's like from 12 to 6 or 12 to 7, which is
Okay.
useless in my opinion. It should be more on the
Yeah.
weekends,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
I remember
I
I was
agree.
practicing it, and then the person came and knocked on the door, and he was angry. He was like, "Get out of the room," because it was like
Hmm.
11:05, and everyone
Yeah.
left. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, sure, sure." I was like, and I started being like, I was frustrated, and that's
Yeah.
how that face was. I was just looking dead at the camera. I'm like, and I'm half asleep as well. I was
Oh,
sleep
that's when you
deprived.
recorded it, or what? Or
Yeah,
oh,
that's when I recorded. I
wow,
was
that's
sleep
wild.
deprived, man.
Yeah.
So the guy
Yeah.
was, I was stressed. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna get this through. I wasn't even thinking. I was like, just look dead in the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
And I
I
was like,
see. Damn.
okay,
That's that take you're talking
that's
about, right?
how,
Right
that's the
now. Yeah.
take,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it took
Yeah.
me a good half an hour.
But yeah, and then at the same time, I definitely want to add to what you were saying that also you do it because of love, and I think also because of that, though, your own voice shines through, and that's how you can
100%.
actually make a difference too, like you can attract people who are really, well, I don't know, you can inspire people that way.
100%.
Yeah. Otherwise, we
I
wouldn't be on the
completely agree.
call. Otherwise, we wouldn't
Yes,
be on the
that's right.
call. Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for this. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what
Yeah.
you said is very, very, very true and very touching. It's, yeah, the reason why I guess the way I play like that is because it's I'm vulnerable. Like when I'm playing these grooves, as much as my face
Yeah.
is like very boring, I mean also
Hmm.
I do that on purpose as well because it's part of like a brand kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wearing this hat on every single video and
Yeah. Yeah.
making the same face and trying to get the same angle. It's almost like a brand.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but besides that, I think that, like you said, it's because I'm very vulnerable when I play.
Yeah.
I just play because I love it, and I love to show people that I love it and that it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. Just playing
Nice.
music is great. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
incredible.
It
So
is
I love
incredible.
being
Yeah.
vulnerable, and it's
Yeah.
sometimes people see it and they're like, "Yo,
Yeah.
that's moving."
Exactly. Berj, do you have any other inspirations music wise, like besides sampling and a lot of hip hop? Is there anything that
Oh yeah.
drives you?
Oh
Or
my God.
I bet.
So
Yeah,
much. Yeah. Actually,
yeah,
I'll get into details with this. A lot of these grooves are based on very, like Middle Eastern grooves. Because
yeah,
I'm in Lebanon, so I'm surrounded
yeah,
by
yeah,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful music. And
yeah.
over there in Lebanon, I'm used to the quarter, the quarter tones and all of
Yes,
that.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
my ear has
yeah.
I'm used to that, and also the grooves there in the Middle East, in Lebanon at least, very very heavy drums presence. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a thunderstorm. So a lot of Arabic music has shaped my sound, and a lot of rock music because, like I said, I was born listening
Yeah,
to the Eagles, Paul McCartney. The Beatles
yeah.
are my favorite band of all time. So, and to this
Nice.
day, and
Yeah.
sometimes I say that to people, and they're like, "What? Like you play all this stuff and you
Mm-hmm.
listen to the Beatles?" I'm like, "Yeah, like I think they're the greatest band in the world in my
Nice.
like."
Yeah, yeah.
So, a lot of that,
Nice.
a lot of Rage Against the Machine. I
Yeah.
love Rage Against the Machine,
So
but
did
I
you
think,
grew up with that as well? Like, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of classical music, right? Because your dad,
yep,
but then also
yep.
you grew up listening to rock, like that was.
Yeah, because my dad, when he was my age, he was in Montreal, and
Oh, I see. Okay.
and he came to Montreal thinking he wanted to be no, he came to Montreal and he had his rock band when he was my age. So he used to go and tour
Wow,
and
that's
everything.
wild.
He was a guitarist,
Nice.
so after that, after Montreal, he went to Armenia to study in Armenia, thinking he wanted to be a rock like a guitarist, and he went to Armenia
Sick.
to the conservatory and he went to his audition and then he started playing something on guitar and they were like, this is a fucking conservatory, what are you doing, you gotta play piano. So then
Yeah, yeah,
and then the shift from rock to and he
yeah,
just completely just
yeah.
focused on classical, but rock to him is still right here.
Oh, it's
Like
still okay.
even when he conducts
Mm-hmm.
like a rock star. I mean, it's always like heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Nice.
so much power. So
Amazing.
so I
He's still
grew up with
conducting?
rock and classical. Yeah, yeah. Right now he's in
Amazing.
Dubai. Right now he's in
Okay.
Dubai. He's the he's
Yeah.
a conductor and he's the artistic director of the Firdaus Orchestra, which is like an orchestra,
Okay.
the all-female orchestra of the United
Okay.
Arab Emirates, which is awesome. So
Amazing.
he's there right now doing
Yeah.
his stuff. Yeah, he's awesome.
Amazing. And when you started off with like your dad being conductor and you going to probably some concerts and seeing him, I was like, this overlap is also wild because my dad is a clarinet player and
Oh, really?
He was in the Belgian Philharmonic. So
Ah,
I would go to his concerts, you know, like, and he taught me a lot. And that's how I got into classical percussion first. And then
okay.
and then I discovered there was a drum set at his place. And I'm like, what the hell is this thing
Like
doing
what?
here?
Yeah.
Because I started off playing clarinet.
Really?
Yes, yes.
And how then you
But
came into drums? Wow.
yeah,
And then you went to the
exactly.
drum
Yeah.
stuff.
I went to
Beautiful.
the drum stuff. Yeah, yeah. For me, clarinet wasn't. I think I had fun playing it as a kid, but then, I mean, once I discovered the drums, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do
That's the
this.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
it's
even the
just some.
melodic percussion or like, I mean, I like listening to classical music still and all the percussion instruments, but for myself, I'm like, no, I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer,
Yeah,
really.
I know
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
mean. Yeah,
yeah,
me too. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes, I was like, when I was young, I used to be like, I want to play the timpani just for the sake of playing in the
Mm-hmm.
orchestra with my dad, because I used to think that
Yes,
would be so cool. Like, imagine if I'm
exactly.
on the
Yeah,
timpanis and like my
yeah.
dad's conducting. It's like father and
That's
son. It's
my,
like
that would be
wow.
amazing. Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, I had
I
some
never.
ideas about that as well.
I'm
Yeah. Oh,
sure.
go to rehearsal with my dad, you know, like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah. Bird, any things worth mentioning about like other gigs coming up? Where should people find out about your music? Where should people
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna drop
if
all the links regardless, but
awesome.
you, it's on you. It's on you.
So all my beats are
Mm-hmm.
under my name. It's just
Mm-hmm.
Berj, like Berj.
Yeah.
And for my quartet stuff, you can just search up Berj Fazlian Quartet
Yeah.
and they'll find it there. And for every announcement, it's on my Instagram, Berj Fazlian, at Berj Fazlian. And
Sick.
that's all the announcements, music, everything will
Yeah.
always be there. And I also have my
Yeah.
YouTube channel too. I also have my
Yeah.
YouTube channel, which I upload sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually started off on YouTube in
Okay.
October and that I
Mm-hmm.
posted one video which went viral. And then
Nice.
that kind of got me followers here, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So So yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
my YouTube is also Berj. Yeah, if you just
Cool.
write Berj drums or something, could probably pop.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
follow. Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
that's the thing. Yeah,
Really cool, Burge. Thank you
really,
for
it's
your
been a
time.
pleasure.
Thanks for being the
Of
guest.
course,
Let's be in touch. I would love to come to Boston, see you play. Anytime you
please.
play in New York, let me know.